tell you this, if there's an ongoing problem with these signs, we'll just split the whole room.
And denies our First Amendment rights?
What about the ongoing problem?
What about
with
our
guns?
First Amendment rights? We have rights to hold a sign. I'm not leaving.
Are guns still allowed in here?
Hold a
Trooper,
sign.
the third one back in the center needs to exit the room. The other one holding the sign up needs to exit the room.
Come on, man.
Yes, sir.
You can have a gun, but not a gun.
My First Amendment right. You have to drag me out, so be it.
Body cam.
Is this what democracy looks like?
No.
Is this what democracy looks like?
Over a sign? Y'all won't do this for people who bring guns to school.
You have to drag me.
Trooper, the lady back there holding the cell phone, standing up, the woman needs to leave the room.
This is not what democracy looks like.
Allison Polidor was one of 3 concerned Tennessee citizens that were swiftly kicked out of a Republican-controlled House subcommittee hearing on the gun epidemic in their state. They were kicked out for silently holding a sign that read, "One kid is greater than all the guns." Yes, it's the same state where 6 people, including 3 children, were murdered at Covenant School earlier this year, and apparently the Republican lawmakers took offense to her exercising her First Amendment rights that they claim to honor and respect. Polidor still spoke about where she was coming from, despite being silenced by rogue politicians, and she said this: "I have a close friend whose son was a 3rd grader at the Covenant School last year. I spent most of the day on March 27, 2023, not knowing whether my friend's son was dead or alive. He survived, but his life and so many others will forever be marked by this tragedy." On August 22nd, 2023, I joined with so many other moms from across Tennessee to urge our lawmakers to enact common sense gun laws. I was removed for peacefully holding a small sign and exercising my First Amendment rights. What started as a debate on gun safety has morphed into a blatant violation of my First Amendment rights. The removals came at the order of a Republican subcommittee chair, who decided to go ahead and kick the rest of the public out of the committee room because constituents rejecting fascism make him just a little bit too uncomfortable.
Privacy in full display!
Their blood!
We will see you in November, I promise.
We have to follow your rules in here. Do you know how stupid that sounds? You should all be embarrassed, especially you from Williamson County. You do not represent us. No, you do not.
This is likely to end with kids with disabilities and behavioral issues to be killed because they don't have training. They don't know how to de-escalate a situation. And I am terrified for what is going to happen because of this.
Now think about this, though. The chair was too uncomfortable with small signs being held, but was completely comfortable with the proposals that were advancing in the name of the gun lobby that included, 1, to let people with carry permits bring them into schools. Tennessee Representative Tim Burchett's words immediately following the shooting at Covenant School earlier this year are ringing true more and more every day.
It's a horrible, horrible situation, and we're not going to fix it. Criminals are going to be criminals, and my daddy fought in the Second World War, fought in the Pacific, fought the Japanese, and he told me, he said, "Buddy," he said, "if somebody wants to take you out and doesn't mind losing their life, there's not a whole heck of a lot you can do about it."
Not only are Tennessee Republicans making sure to fulfill Representative Burchett's promise, but the entire reason these women were kicked out for sitting silently with small signs while lawmakers voted to add guns to school settings is because they preemptively implemented these new rules for this special session that banned signs, but not guns. That rule has since been blocked by a judge after a lawsuit was brought forward by the ACLU of Tennessee. You would think these state lawmakers would have learned their lesson after expelling Representative Jones and Pearson for their stances in favor of some gun reform, only to see them reappointed and reelected by their constituents. Representative Jones continues to speak the truth and illustrate just how committed these Republicans are to the gun lobby while completely dismissing the will of their voters.
Hey, y'all, we are here just getting ready to start our special session, And as you can look, the rotunda has been shut down for the most part to the public under the orders of Speaker Cameron Sexton. This is our special session that was supposed to be around gun violence, but what we see is a party more concerned with stifling and stopping free speech and dissent than they are about stopping the gun violence that is plaguing our community and state. All around, if you take a look at the legislature, the people are not allowed to assemble in the rotunda where they've gathered for generations to have their voices heard. We call this the People's House, but today we are keeping the people out of the People's House. On this side of the gallery of the Capitol on the left, members of the public are able to go, but on the right side is shut down and it's only open to lobbyists. This does not look like democracy. This looks like authoritarianism and extremism and fascism. Once again, Cameron Sexton, the Speaker of the House, is showing the people of the state that he does not represent everyday people, but he speaks for the special interests like the Tennessee Farms Association and the NRA, who have hijacked our democracy